Okay, so let's talk about Musk derangement syndrome, or DOGE derangement syndrome. What Elon's doing is nothing new. He's just doing it badly. Under Reagan, they had the Grace Commission and Reform 88, which were doing, about doing moderate little reforms to, on cash management and all this stuff. It's been done. And then there's Reform 88 was done partly through the vice president's office. Not wholly. That's where I got a copy of the I got from Vice President Bush. His staff gave me a copy of the Reform 88 packet. So, and there was the Grace Commission, which also tried to solve the $700 million budget deficit that was expected in 2000. Of course, Clinton then balanced the budget. Then Bush mainly dealt with taxes. Bush 1, there was a White House. It wasn't an outside commission. They had to do with, the problem of mounting deficits. It was a financial one. They had two things happen. One was the sequester, which didn't go well for me when I wanted a job, and they had a budget summit, and that settled that actually put the economy on a trajectory away from debt, that Clinton then just doubled down on, but raising the capital gains tax and high income tax rate, raising it from 28 to 31, and lowering it from 33 to 31, the bubble before. That started a cycle of growth. That Clinton capitalized, doubled down on until he got caught with his pants down, and then gave the GOP a capital gains tax cut. The capital gains tax cut, which was huge, and way too big. It should have been at 28, not 20%. Gave us the tech boom. Because the tech boom was not a boom in actual technology. It was a boom in getting venture capital, because it was cheaper to do that than to actually pay people to work. And it was, people wanted to go in, sell their idea, and then let the companies go bankrupt. So, but to cash it, it's fraud. And the fraud, because that's what happens when you have too low a capital gains tax rates, you get fraud. And that's also why we had the Great Recession, because that was never taken care of. Bush doubled down on it. So, yeah, I guess he's the one that got it down to 20% capital gains rate. So Obama adjusted some of that, and Biden, because they thought that cutting taxes raising taxes in a recession was a bad thing. Well, they were wrong. They should have let taxes go up automatically. It would have brought back a recovery and got us out of depression, because people would have had taken money out of people who were saving too much and taking it into the economy, which always increases growth. Yeah, there was a summit, and there was a fiscal commission, and the purpose of the fiscal commission under Obama was to work out a way to pay for letting the Bush tax cuts, funding them for half the taxpayers, the lower income taxpayers, but letting them take place for the upper income taxpayers. And that kind of automatically happened. Grover Norquist geeked and said that he wasn't going to go after people. But it was all developing options to find a way to not let taxes on the rich go up as much as Obama wanted them to. And Obama won that one. And that's when the economy really started to take off. So, but so I have there's always a commission of some kind. But the big ones were the Grace Commission and Reform 88 and Reinventing Government by Bill Clinton, which is an Al Gore thing. Now, this is something that probably J.D. Vance should be heading, not on a long-term basis, not Elon Musk. Elon Musk should help it, but it should be in the vice president's wheelhouse. This kind of thing always is. So, I mean, if there's really lasting reform to the government, when the vice president's on the phone, it's a better sell, and he gets better people. These are the mistakes that Musk is making. He needs to get a lawyer, a general counsel on tap, a government general counsel, so that they don't make mistakes so they can correctly ask for the data they need, and work with GAO about any audit to the systems. GAO the Government Accountability Office is a very good working agency that the Comptroller General. He should just visit the Comptroller General and find out what the Comptroller General does, and then offer the Comptroller General their services. But I think that GAO's got it under control pretty much. Musk is a rookie. He's making a lot of rookie mistakes, especially when he talks about regulation. He needs to get somebody who's a scholar in public administration, like me, like Neil Kerwin. There's a lot of people who know what they're talking about with this. Somebody who knows about regulatory capture theory, which is the principle that regulation comes as a result of a regulatory agency being captured by the industry it regulates, so that it keeps, protects the big boys and keeps small business out of it. I mean, essentially, SpaceX has captured NASA. It's that kind of thing. It's that kind of relationship, and having regulations helps SpaceX. So he needs to look at his own situation and realize that's what regulation does. It keeps the idiots out, and people with standards in, and you've got to allow other people. It can't be the total barrier to entry. You can't give Musk monopoly rights, but they're going to have to do something to manage the situation so that people who are not as good as SpaceX get a shot, and get a shot in a way that they don't go broke. NASA messed up totally Starliner. That should have been developmental contracts need to really be cost plus. So this model didn't work that way. In fact, if the government's going to do anything, it should say, okay, get your stuff in the market, but we'll guarantee your debt if there's a problem. So the exact time the government needs to be involved because it's got the pockets is when things fail. Then they put the injection in. The basic funding can come from anywhere, but NASA's job should have been, and this is what I put in my document to NASA that was used, on which ULA was founded, and which the whole civilian space effort, private sector effort, was based on a memo that I wrote that said the government's main role should be guaranteeing the debt of these companies in case they fail. So they forgot that little piece when they put it in, or they haven't remembered it. It was put in, and it was, So it's if bad things happen, the government should make the situation whole, so that nobody loses their shirt, which is what should happen with Starliner. They should wind down, but they should be, it should never have been contracted the way it was. fixed price contracts for new vehicles. Just don't. So, I mean, Elon was doing his anyway, so he was the exception, not the rule, because he wanted to do his own rockets. So, I mean, but for Elon's purposes, going back to those, he needs a good regulatory scholar to explain to him what the nature of regulation is, and why it helps industry, and the options, which would be to have industry standards, but there's got to be some kind of standard for any cooperative effort, unless you're having a monopoly, and Musk can't have a monopoly; they won't let him. And then have, again, somebody who knows how to get a general counsel who knows how to get the information, and a finance guy who knows fiscal finance, who can explain it to him. I'm available as long as you quit fucking up, dude. Getting information from agencies should be a very quiet and polite thing. It shouldn't, let the engineers, look for patterns where nobody else is seeing them after the data is there. They should not be the ones, having interns get it is good if they have adult supervision and nobody's supervising them. So, read the report, Elon, read the reports of the Grace Commission, Reinventing Government, and Reform 88. Look at the files. We do it. It's done all the time, and it keeps the thing fresh. It's but it's not entirely necessary. But it puts a stamp on it. What DOGE should be looking at is the congressional process. If you really want the God's honest truth. The reason we have dysfunction in financial management on the executive side is because the financial management system on the congressional side is broken. Fix it. Go in, talk to people, learn about it with humility, and then give me a call, because I got some ideas about this, and other people have too. Most of the ideas are biannual budgets, automatic appropriations, things like that, realistic spending caps, and abolishing the budget committees. I've got testimony after testimony. Fiscalequity.blogspot.com's got it all for free, and there are books that he can order from Amazon. Call Bezos and get a copy of Bender's books. Have your interns do that. That's about their speed. Get the collected comments of the Center for Fiscal Equity to the United States Congress. That will tell you all you need to know about the budget process, controlling regulation, all that. It's been done. I've done it. I've contributed to it over time. Elon, you're making rookie mistakes. Stop it. There are people who can help you. What you're doing is not new. It's been done before. Most new administrations do something like this. You're making Trump look bad. And if you can't do that for long. If you do that too many times, you'll catch the blame. Not Trump, which I guess is good for Trump, but yeah. So Elon, talk to people who've done this before. You can't reinvent this. It was done much better than you're doing it now. So that's my 2 cents for the day, for what it's worth.